Hey fam, welcome back to the Green Sage. This video will be messages of healing. So before we get started, I would like to say please subscribe to the channel and like this video. It helps YouTube to know that you enjoy these videos and that they would also be beneficial to others to see, and I appreciate you doing that. So let's get into it. We all have things in our lives that can be healed, things within ourselves, old stories that we tell ourselves, stories that maybe other people have projected onto us that can sometimes get stuck in our energy and keep us from living our best lives. And today I just wanted to call in our ancestors, our spiritual team, angels, the divine, whatever you believe in, to help you heal. Before we get started, I want you to take 3 deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, to just clear the energy, open up your energy field to receive these messages, release any ego that may want to pop up and block you from receiving these messages today. As I'm speaking here, I'm just shuffling some oracle cards that we'll be using in your reading, but I will also continue to shuffle on camera. It's trying something new, maybe trying to save some time or let you see the process in what I'm doing. So I think it is helpful. It's cool to see the magic of how these cards sometimes come up and they just all resonate so much together. So getting into your messages, we are going to have 4 pile options: group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. This is the crystal card for group 1. Group 2. Group 3, and group 4. Take a couple more deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Look over these cards. Decide which card or multiple cards are calling to you. I did shuffle for each of the pile selectors, so they will be incorporated into your messages. As usual, timestamps will be listed in the description box. Feel free to find your timestamp, click on that, and it will fast forward you to your messages. I will see you in group 1. Hey group 1, if you chose this crystal card, these will be your messages of healing. I'm not sure what that crystal is. We will figure it out in just a moment. But right away, just from the picture, from the energy that I'm receiving, the fact that it has all these different crystals sort of scattered about the card, it makes me feel like your energy is sort of chaotic. Like you might feel like you're all over the place, like you can't get a grips on what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right, heads, tails. Just make sense of things in your life. It's just feeling like a really all over the place energy. If you did miss the intro, I'm just shuffling oracle cards on camera to let you also be a part of that magic. But whatever, yes, not whatever, but your energy seems all over the place. And that's probably because fragmented, that's the word I was looking for. Your energy seems fragmented. And that's the healing that is wanting to come into you today. It's to help you to call back the pieces of yourself, put yourself back together, pull back your power, whatever it is, to help you to not be so fragmented, to help you to become more grounded, more stabilized in maybe who you are, what you want to do in life. But let's get into your cards and see what they have to say. Your first card, oh, you have Sapphire. Who needs it? Students of ancient wisdom. When to use it? When resentments are doing more damage to you than to those you're holding them against. Enlist Sapphire to call forth that old soul that resides within, i.e., the wisest part of you who couldn't possibly care less about what anybody else thinks of you. Find your tranquil place. 5:55 on the clock as I say that. At some point, I feel like someone made you feel as though other people's opinions of you was more important than your own opinion of you. And that is what is being called in for healing today. You don't need to give a flying F, right, about what anyone else thinks of you. If you're happy with yourself, that's all that matters. I feel like with the resentments, there's definitely people that have hurt you in the past. People who did things to you, said things to you that you can't make heads or tails of. Like, why would they do this to you? Why would they say that to you if they loved you? It could be a parent who really just put this just nasty energy on you. It could be anyone else in your life. But I feel like it goes deep. It goes farther back. And I know you've probably heard the phrase, hurt people, but that's exactly what happened in your situation. Someone else was hurting, and instead of them dealing with that pain, that resentment themselves, they projected it onto you. And it's not okay. But you have the ability now, the power to call in your power, regain your power, and to say, enough is enough. That's not your bag to carry. That burden is not yours any longer. Also, the burden of being resentful in general. Anger is a punishment that we give to ourselves when other people hurt us. So your healing today is asking for you to stop hurting yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to forgive what someone did or said or didn't do or didn't say, but it means that you have to forgive yourself enough. Forgive yourself for staying in that energy, for allowing it to affect you. But forgive yourself so you can move on from it as well. Let's get some more cards out to see what could be going on in your situation. We have bittersweet in reverse with the throat chakra, followed by baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense. Followed by soul forgiveness, card 28. And shield maiden, make plans and focus. That's that scattered energy coming in again. It's like you're so caught up on what was done, what was said, whatever it was, that it is making you unable to focus on you, focus on what's actually important, which is you carrying out the plans that you have for yourself, for your future, for your prosperity. And yes, it's this bittersweet moment of moving on from the past, right? Like, our egos come up to protect us. That's why we feel these emotions of resentment and anger, and it's to remind us not to allow these certain things to happen to us again. But you choosing to stay in that is taking away your peace, taking away your tranquility. And it very well could have been someone very important to you. more than likely was someone very important to you who hurt you in some way, who made you feel resentful, sad, hurt, made you feel as though you weren't good enough. But you're bigger now. You know how to put up boundaries, put up your shields. You know how to speak up for yourself. And maybe you didn't speak up for yourself in the past, and that's also why you feel resentful. It's time to let that go. Forgive yourself. That 28 reduces to a 10, which lets me know it's the end of the cycle for you. Once you allow yourself to forgive, that's it. And then you get to take those baby steps to follow your intuition, to move yourself to that next phase of your journey, to where you can find that tranquil place. Follow your intuition so you can find that tranquility that you seek. Find that peace within. I'm feeling it's emotional peace, mental peace. Actually, I kind of want to read this soul forgiveness card. 28. It says, hopefully you can see that. The sun's so bright right now, it's hard for me to see. You can't rush forgiveness. You have to feel it to heal it. Feel the pain, hurt, grief, rage, and despair. Take time with your heart. Forgiveness is a higher vibration frequency than the pain you must allow yourself to feel. Unforgiveness colors your world with lack, mistrust, and resentment. That word again. You start to see everything through victim-colored glasses, but forgiveness does not have to include reconciliation. Start with self-forgiveness. Say out loud, I forgive myself with love. Wasn't I just saying you had to forgive yourself in this situation? Maybe you were young and you could not speak up for yourself, or you felt afraid to speak up for yourself because of retaliation for someone else. That's in the past. And now it's time to let that go, because you're bigger now, you're older now, you're stronger, wiser. Those resentments, those angers, all of it, it's kept you safe to a point. But at this point, it is now holding you back. It's holding you back from living your best life. It's holding you back from tranquility, from peace. You have 2 blue cards here, and you have that sword there, which tells me there's a lot going on in your emotional, your mental, maybe even with that throat chakra of just speaking up for yourself, admitting the truths to yourself so that you are able to move on. But now is the time to do so. And once you do, we're going to pull some cards to see what you can look forward to. Your first card out is the bonus card. You are a badass being full of life, love, and possibilities. Through this deck, may you find a path to your best self. Allowing yourself to heal, allowing yourself to forgive is setting you on the path to your best self. What have you wanted life to look like? Have you wanted it to look happier, to look freer, to look what have you wanted life to look like? Because that is what is trying to come in for you. It's time to let go of the walls that you've built, let go of that anger, the resentment, so you can take those baby steps towards the future that you seek. You may be interested in getting some sapphire crystals. I actually got sapphire earrings to help me with my throat chakra when I was first starting on my healing journey. Your next cards out are the King of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. Look, you got 3 10s, 10, 10, 10 in your reading. I told you, a major cycle is about to end for you, but it takes those first steps from you to do so. to allow yourself to forgive, and that forgiveness starts with you. Starts with forgiving yourself that you were too little to stand up, or too little to know that you had a voice, too inexperienced to know that you had a voice, to know that you had a choice in something. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know in the past, because now that you've gone through it, now that you've experienced, you are wiser, and you can take that wisdom with you into the future, so you don't get to this place of resentment again, so you don't get to this place of putting so much stock in what other people think and expect of you, because you know your life is yours to live and no one else's. So with your tarot cards here, what this is showing me is that it goes right along with this soul forgiveness card of allowing yourself to feel your feelings so that you can heal, so that you can release it and move on. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. Allow those waves to come in, to crash over you. That's okay. You no longer have to hold on to that little bit that you felt that you had. You no longer have to hold on to those resentments, that anger, those walls that you built around yourself to protect yourself. You can let go of this mental battle, this emotional battle that you've been in. Telling yourself, pretending that things are okay when inside you're hurting, when inside you're crying out for help. It's okay to let that go now. It's okay to ask for help if you need help. You watching this video alone is you taking those first baby steps to getting what you need in order to heal and move on to this 10 of Cups, which is your ultimate fulfillment, your ultimate happiness. Being emotionally intelligent and strong, having that mental fortitude, no longer caring what other people said or did, not letting what other people say or do in the future bring you to this place of depression, of feeling lack, of feeling like you're not enough, or feeling whatever low vibe you've been feeling. Your healing is here. Your healing is here, and it's up to you to take those first steps. Let go of the past. Let go of the worries of the future. Stay in this present moment. Focus on you. Focus on your plan for yourself and your life. And with that comes so much happiness for you, so much healing. And I'm so happy for you, Group 1. If this video resonated, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I look forward to reading for you again very soon. Goodbye. Hello, Group 2. If you chose this orange calcite, these will be your messages of healing. So, I had already pulled one oracle card for you. I'm just going to continue shuffling as I speak here to get the rest of your oracle cards out. But if you missed the intro, these are your messages of healing. That some area in your life that has been blocking you from the abundance, from the prosperity, from the peace, the happiness, whatever that you have been seeking. All right. You may be drawn to getting some orange calcite. Right away with the orange, I'm feeling that this has to do with your sacral chakra. This has to do with your creativity. It could have to do with your sexuality, your sensuality. You could be blocked creatively in some way. You could have had someone in your past who was very judgmental of you and your way of being, your way of thinking, your way of presenting yourself perhaps. This could more than likely have to do with a mother or a mother figure, but just someone in authority, really, who had that sort of power over you to really, I don't know, maybe control you a bit, limit you in what you did, told you how you should think, told you how you should act. I don't know, you maybe could have been someone who was very artistic or wanted to do something very artistic, and you had a parent or parent figure who told you you couldn't do it, or that there's no money in it, something along those lines. There could have been someone who made you what's the word? Fearful of your own sexuality, your own sensuality, made you stunted your development some way in that regards. You could have been someone who was not allowed to really go out and have friends or date for a very long time. You know, damn near till you left the house, maybe. All of these things don't have to resonate with you for this reading to be for you. It's just what I am picking up on right now. I'm going to get one more oracle card, and then we will see what your messages are. Okay, Orange Calcite. Your card says, who needs it? Artist holding the proverbial paintbrush and staring at the proverbial blank canvas. Anyone whose sex life needs a little more fun. Wasn't I just saying both those things? When to use it. When you want to make something beautiful. Orange Calcite's energy is all about breaking through the fog and the fear that hang on the path to creation. When you want to add some energy to your creative process or take on the Kama Sutra one page at a time. Get with Orange Calcite's sun-kissed vibes. Unlock your creativity. Yeah, unlock your creativity. Your sacral chakra is blocked, and that is why you are here to heal right now. So your first card out is Perseverance in reverse. That sacral chakra again. Next you have Jump In, Andromedan energy, Adventure, say yes to change. Followed by Rage, card 23. Lastly, Snake, shed old skin. Group 2. As I mentioned before, the healing that you need is around your sacral chakra. It could stem from a mother figure, from a parent figure in general, or it could stem from someone who just had, I don't want to say that power over you, but someone that you had that investment to. You really cared about their opinion, about what they thought of you. I feel that you are hanging on to some anger, some rage. Look, we have so many, oh, I didn't even realize this is Medusa. So much energy here of snakes. Someone could have felt like a snake to you, like maybe they said something to your face but then laughed behind your back, or you could have overheard someone at some point speaking ill of you and your creativity, something that you liked. It could have been that someone just seemed very nasty to you, made you doubt yourself, made you question yourself, your abilities, made you feel shameful. Like I was mentioning before, of your sexuality maybe, the way you look. And that caused this quiet inner rage within you, this rage that is built up and blocked your sacral chakra. It could have made you feel almost out of control of your own life, of your own destiny. Like I mentioned before, this could have been where you wanted to do one thing with your life, be an artist or whatever, and a parent told you that no, you're not good enough, or there's no money in it, so do something else. This rage that you have felt, this inner rage that you felt, you were supposed to take this and use it to catapult you, to persevere, to become that star you were meant to be, to become that artist that you were meant to be, to become that light to others that you were always meant to be. But instead, you've internalized it, and you've turned it, and not intentionally, of course, but you've turned it into yourself, like hating yourself, maybe not liking how you look, always comparing yourself to other people, maybe becoming more introverted than you really are because you're always afraid of other people judging you. Maybe whatever it was, it took that shine out of you. It's made you dim your light. It has taken that extra oomph that you came into this world with out of you. But it's still in you. You just have to look deep within. You're being called to let that rage go, to harness it, to alchemize it as the magician that you are, and use that to persevere. Look, this person here is all, that cloak that they were wearing is all battered, all holy because of all the fights and struggles that they've experienced. But then look, they emerge so shiny and new and just living their best life. Right? With like, what is this from Cinderella? The fairy godmother right there. You have some energies around you that are trying to help you to emerge from this rage. To say yes to change, to say yes to difference. That's trying to help you to shed this old skin, this old story that you've had of yourself, that someone else maybe had of you. You know, I'm really feeling like strong mother type energies, grandmother, auntie, I don't know, of someone who made you feel as though you were not good enough for something. You were not pretty enough. You were not talented enough. You were maybe even overly sexualized at a young age. Maybe because you developed early. I don't know, whatever it was. But what I'm here to tell you is that whatever they projected onto you, whatever they put onto you, that was what they were feeling inside of themselves. It was never you, boo. It was never you. They just could not figure out a way to deal with their own rage. And so instead of internalizing it anymore, they put it onto you. They transferred it to you. And now the healing that you're being called to do is to shed that skin. Like you were wearing someone else's energetic suit, and it's not for you anymore. They put some burdens on you that were never meant to be your burdens because they could not handle their own emotions. They could not take their own inner rage and alchemize it and use it to persevere so they could live their best life. And so instead of encouraging you and building your confidence and building you up so that you could do the same, they tore it down because they saw how bright you were already shining. And that light scared them because they could never own up to their own wonderful, beautiful light. Maybe because someone else did the same to them. I don't know. Usually when people do that to us, it's because it's already been done to them and they don't know how to deal. I want to say that you are a curse breaker. You might be the black sheep of your family. You might consider yourself a lone wolf. You may have been raised by narcissistic parents or narcissistic people. If you resonate with any of that, know that that means that this message is especially for you. It's time to let it go. Harness that rage and use it to catapult you forward to this new adventure that is awaiting for you, because you have some beautiful adventures waiting for you. You might be an artist. You might be someone who's meant to be on a stage. You might be someone who is meant to be that shining light, a leader to other people. So shed that old skin that they put you in. We have the 23 reducing to a 5. That's change. And then you also have shed old skin. That's so much change that's trying to come in for you. So much change that will come into you once you begin this healing, once you allow this healing into your being. And the first steps into doing that, into allowing that healing in, is to allow yourself to be seen as who you are. Go out and do things that make you happy, right? If you want to take a painting class, go do that. If you want to go and do an open mic night, do some karaoke, go do that. Not caring what other people think, doing it solely for yourself, solely for your own enjoyment. Embrace the change that is trying to come into your life, because it's going to bring so many wonderful adventures your way. Adventures that you have been secretly praying for. Trigger warning here. So you might want to skip forward maybe two taps, but you could have been someone who was abused in some way. I would say physically, sexually, or emotionally, because that is the story of Medusa. Medusa was she's a misunderstood person. People think that she was just a bad person who just started, turning people to stone and shit. You may come off as a very hard person, like you're hard to get to know, like you're hard on people, maybe hard on yourself. People may think you're cold, but like Medusa, you were turned that way. Medusa was a very beautiful being, very beautiful person who was taken advantage of. And instead of coming to her rescue, comforting her, being there for her, she was punished. That could be you. You could have been someone who tried to speak up about something that was done to you, a way that someone hurt you, and instead of people actually showing up for you, they punished you for it like it was your fault. People could have projected that your beauty, the way you dressed, the fact that you developed quickly or whatever, made things happen to you. And I'm here to tell you it was not your fault. The mean things, the terrible things that other people do and say, that's on them. That's not on you. But you've internalized the rage. And what happened with Medusa is that when people did not come to her rescue, they punished her for it, and they turned her into this person with the snake heads coming out of her that would turn every man that looked at her into stone. I'm sorry people were not there to support you when you needed it. That is the healing that you need to hear. I'm sorry that people did not show up for you. I'm sorry that hardened you, that made you fearful, that made you rageful. But it's time to let it go. It's time to release that old story of yourself and to start something new, to start a new journey, a new adventure. You did not deserve it. You did not deserve it. At the same time, however, what you experienced was giving you exactly what you need to turn into this diamond in the rough, to turn into this superstar that you were always meant to be, to turn into this beacon for others. If you experience something hard like that, you're meant to take it and turn it into something where you lead others out of the same situation. You're meant to turn yourself around and be that beacon of light, showing other people what they can do, who they can become out of terrible situations. Say yes to the change. Say yes to jumping in and healing yourself. Your first card out is the Six of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Cups. I feel that in the past you have given so much of yourself, so much love, so much energy, just so much warmth and love, and it has not been reciprocated. And now, at this point in your life, you feel as though, like our shirt says, over it. You're just kind of over it. But the universe is trying to hand you this beautiful gift, this beautiful chalice. No rain, no rainbows, right? I was just reminded of that looking at this rainbow eye here. Out of, what is it? I'm being shown Harry Potter. Can't remember the exact quote. But out of the darkest of times, the worst situations, come some of the most beautiful things. And what you're being called to do is take this, where you've gotten stuck in your rage of maybe even, I hate to say feeling sorry for yourself, because I feel like you went through something really hard. But we all get stuck there. You're meant to turn it around. And like I said, alchemize that energy, utilize it into creating something beautiful. You don't like the cup that you've been given. You don't like the hand that you've been dealt, and that's okay. But what the universe is wanting you to know is that the energy that you put in to healing, to pulling yourself back up, to taking that rage and channeling it into something creative, you will receive that in return. Once again, temperance. I keep talking about alchemizing. That is what you're being called to do. It's not going to happen overnight, so patience is also required. But alchemize what has been given to you and turn it into something beautiful. You are the author of your own story. Don't allow this to leave you here. Don't allow it to leave you here. Take the opportunity that the universe is trying to hand to you. Turn it into something else. Bring more balance back into your life, into your situation. Bring balance to yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, and watch how that translates into your material world. Shed that old version of yourself. Bottom of the deck energy is the King of Pentacles. Do all of that work, do that healing, and this will be you. Sitting on that throne, standing in your power, abundant, prosperous. That could be financial if you really do turn this situation into some sort of career for yourself, if you channel it into something creative. This could be you just being so grounded and knowing who you are. No fear, no confusion anymore. That's what awaits you. Allow yourself to heal. Allow yourself to feel your feelings and take that rage and turn it into something else. Group 2. These have been your messages of healing. If this resonated with you, please like the channel. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Goodbye. Hey, Group 3. If you chose this crystal card, these will be your messages. I'm not really sure what this crystal is or what the properties are, but what I am feeling currently, and I'm going to continue shuffling for the rest of your oracle cards as I speak. This card makes me think of the ocean. It makes me think of rolling waves, makes me think of flowing emotions. You might need to rein yourself in a bit, control your emotions. Calm those waves, perhaps. Find some grounding. Let's take a peek at your card as I continue to shuffle your oracle cards. All right, your crystal card is Larimar. You might be interested in getting yourself some Larimar. 44:22 on the clock as I say that. So that tells me stability within unions, within partnerships. That is what this healing is trying to bring in for you. So, who needs it? The hot-tempered, any Aries. That's myself. 44:44 on the clock as I say that. Lots of stability coming in for you. Lots of stability coming in with controlling that temper. I just saw Beauty and the Beast. You must control your temper. That might be a movie that you enjoy watching. When to use it. When you feel like all the world's problems are suddenly just your problem. When anger stands between you and the formation of articulate sentences. Remember, chill is a choice. Ride the cool breeze with Larimar. Slow your roll. Well, that's definitely the energy I was feeling, like the waves coming in, controlling those waves. Slow your roll. I feel that you might have a lot of anger built up in you. Group 3, you may have been drawn. Yep, not even gonna go there. Okay, Group 3, lots of anger. I feel like, yes, you have some anger in you and you don't even know exactly what that anger is towards. There might be many resentments. I feel like you might suffer from some self-doubt, from some indecisiveness. If you are just a very fiery, passionate person, you might be someone who runs hot and cold. You might be someone who can get angry at the drop of a dime. Like you just, what am I trying to say? A switch just gets flicked Usually when that happens, when we feel this way, when it's hard to control our feelings, control our emotions, it's because we don't even know exactly what we're feeling, like I already said, but also because we were not given those tools in childhood like we needed. You maybe had caregivers, parents, grandparents, whoever took care of you, who exhibited those same things to you. They could not control their anger. You could resonate with being raised by narcissistic people who one minute things seemed great and calm, and then the next minute they were raging at you, yelling at you, making you feel like crap. Those waves just started coming in, right? The words, I'm feeling lots of hurtful words. My heart chakra just lit up as I was saying that, like people, whoever this was, or could have been one person, could have been many people, but they would just get angry all of a sudden. Like you could have felt as though you were always walking on eggshells. Like you really had to watch what you did or said, because that could just make this person flip at any moment, and you never know what you did wrong. You never knew when it was coming. It could have made you feel very insecure. It could have made you, it could still make you feel insecure. You could be an insecure person today, have some self-esteem issues, have some self-confidence issues, some issues around self-worth. You could have a hard time regulating your emotions, as I already said, but also tapping into other people's emotions, because it's like you're always on high alert. I'm sorry for that. I know what that is like, group 3. But the healing that wants to come into you today, that's trying to come into you, wants to let you know that you're able to heal that within yourself. Like you don't have to continue living that narrative. You can choose to move away from said people if you haven't already. You can choose to be different. But you're not going to be until you learn to control your own temper. Learn to ride the waves of your own emotions, realizing that you don't have to react to every single emotion that you feel, that you can let it come in and wash over you and let it roll back out, just like the waves of the ocean. But also in speaking up for yourself, so that those waves don't build up so much and turn into a tsunami that you just release on everything and everyone around you. You might be interested in seeing a counselor, a therapist, working with a spiritual life coach such as myself. My email is in the description box. But it's time to control those emotions. Slow your roll, slow down. Take a breather. Not everything that people say or do, or the looks they give even, are out to hurt you. Like, I feel like you've really been on high alert because of past experiences within your life. And the healing that's trying to come into you is trying to teach you that you don't have to be on high alert. You might resonate as being an empath or an intuitive, maybe even a starseed. Let's see what the other oracle cards have to say. You got a lot more than I was intending, but that happened. So here we go. Your first card out is insecurity with the root chakra. I was just saying that. Next, you have abundance with the solar plexus chakra. Next, you have recovery with the crown chakra. Star brothers, Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Maybe you were not given the tools that you needed when you were young to help you regulate your feelings, your emotions, to work through them, to calm yourself down, whatever that was. And you might find yourself now having these huge reactions to situations that really don't require such huge reactions. You might have been told that you have anger issues. You may feel like you can't control your own feelings, your own emotions. You can't trust them even, because the way that you react to things are way different than other people. 55 seconds on the clock as I'm saying that. Your other oracle cards that you received were self-sabotage, card 24, and summer, bask in joy and light. 1:11 on the clock as I'm saying that. What that is telling me is that 55 is telling me that you might be experiencing some chaos, some conflict, be in some turmoil. But what that's also telling me is that change is trying to come in for you. And that change is trying to bring in a new beginning within your life. And that beginning comes with curing your insecurities and recovering the parts of yourself that were lost, finding that key to helping you to get back on solid ground, to feel as though you can trust yourself, trust your feelings, trust your emotions, just trust, right? And being able to slow your roll, take those steps back, control your emotions, regulate yourself, because at some point your nervous system was put out of whack. You may have been someone who experienced a lot of turmoil and chaos in childhood. Your parents or parental figures could have fought a lot, could have placed insecurity on you. Like I said, like you felt like you're walking on eggshells all the time. So you always had to question yourself because it never made sense to you why they reacted the way they did, why they treated you the way that they treated you. You could have been made to feel as though you were never wanted, as though you were a burden, as though you just being there was a nuisance. You could have experienced some sort of abuse even. And all of these things put your nervous system out of whack. So the healing that is trying to come in for you is healing your own nervous system, getting yourself out of that fight or flight response so that you can calmly and objectively look at what is going on in your life without having those big rushes of emotions that just bulldoze over everyone in your path. You may have even had relationships that failed because of said emotions, because you just always seemed angry, always seemed like you were judging people, always picking at people's flaws and faults, right? And that's also because you were made to feel that way. That's how you were taught to look at the world. That's how you were taught to look at yourself. But now it's time to heal that. It's time to recover bits of yourself that were lost. You may feel as though you self-sabotage yourself. You may, it could be something that you never thought of, but you might want to look into self-sabotage. It could be that every time something good is happening in your life, every time things seem calm, it's like almost like you have to seek out the drama, like you have to start a fight, like you have to shake some shit up. And that's not you. It's not who you are at your core. It's not who you were meant to be. It's just the life in which you grew up in. It's the energy that was placed on you at an impressionable age. It doesn't matter if you were 4 or 44. We can still be impressionable at any time, right? And so the healing that's wanting to come into you is the universe wants you to know that you are safe, that you are protected, that all of this was not for naught, right? That you can turn your story around, that you can begin to rewrite your own story. And it begins with you learning to control your emotions, learning to not be so reactive, right? Looking at things more objectively, not thinking that everything and everyone that gives you a negative feeling, a bad feeling, is out to get you, is out to harm you in some way. This self-sabotaging energy could come up, like I was saying, whenever something is going good in your life. 5:55 on the clock again for you. So much change is wanting to come in for you. This 24 reduces to a 6. That lets me know that part of your healing is just learning to control your own mind, learning to control the thoughts that go through your mind, the insecurities that pop up, the narratives that you tell yourself of ways that other people are hurting you or out to get you or don't have your best interests in heart, the ways that you tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you're not worthy. You're being called to trust this process, to know that you are safe, and to know that during this time, you're receiving healing, loving messages from the universe that will help you to heal this part of yourself so that you can once again, or maybe even for the first time in your life, bask in the joy and the light of life, knowing that life doesn't have to be so dark and heavy and as though you feel like everything is on you, like the world is against you. Your first tarot card out is Strength. You're being called to stay strong, to work through your insecurities. 8 of Swords next, to free yourself from the mental imprisonment that you have placed yourself in. I'm not saying that you placed yourself there on purpose, not at all, but you know, these are the things that you were maybe taught or not taught early in life. And it's time to no longer live that narrative. You can wiggle out of this rope, out of the binds, the confines, take off that mask and see things for what they really are. Because at this point, you have a choice. You can heal yourself, you can move on from it, you can choose to love yourself, to see the good in yourself, to see the good in all people. And that is the abundance that is there waiting for you. Because once you start to see the good in yourself and the good in others, that's when you can really live in joy. No longer living in fear, no longer self-sabotaging yourself. That's when you are able to recover the pieces of yourself that have been locked away. You're about to, look, we have a key and we have that box right there that is all locked up. You're about to open yourself up to the abundance that's waiting for you, the love that's waiting for you, even the good financial situations that's waiting for you, the good relationships that have been waiting for you. But it starts with strength. It starts with strength in yourself to work through these things, to calm that beast within, right? Next, you have 3 of Wands. Look forward to your ships coming in. That's what you are able to do. Set your sights on what it is that you seek, the life that you want to live, the experiences that you want to live, the way you want to feel, that joy and light. Set your sights on that. And that is what will help you to work through any of the insecurities, self-sabotage, feeling as though you don't really know yourself, you can't really trust yourself. That's what's going to help you work through all of those things. The 3 of Wands could also speak of travel. You may be someone who wants to travel the world, see more parts of the world. That is something that you can look forward to once you begin to heal this part of yourself. Learn to control your emotions and not let them control you. Group 3. See the beauty in yourself. See the love, the divinity in yourself, because there is so much good about you. I feel like you are a very giving, loving person. You are loyal, just as that card suggests, and just as this Four of Pentacles suggests. You are loyal to the people that you care about. You hold tight to them, you hold strong to them. You are always there for people, you show up. And that is an amazing quality to have. You are fierce. You have that inner fire. And you're just meant to temper that fire and pour it into something more productive. And once you do that, that is when you will see your ships start to come in. Bottom of the deck energy is the Fool. Take that leap. Take that leap into the unknown of showing up differently, of looking at the world differently, seeking new perspectives on why people did or said to you the things they did or said in the past, finding grace, giving grace within those situations, of knowing that any way that someone hurt you, it's because they were already hurt that way themselves, and they did not know how to heal themselves. They did not know how to move on. So it is now your opportunity to break that cycle. It's your opportunity to do something different so that you don't keep repeating that same cycle of hurting other people, of, especially if you have children, right? Of giving them the tools that they require to be successful in life, the tools that you were never given. That is your legacy. Whether you have children or not, you will be teaching people that. You will be passing on that legacy to other people, whether you intentionally do it or not. Just your light is going to shine through and teach other people that same strength. That's the healing coming in for you. And you have so much abundance coming to you once you allow that healing in. So group 3, if this resonated, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for being here and sharing your energy with me, and I look forward to reading for you again soon. Goodbye. Hey, group 4. These will be your messages of healing. I've already drawn one of your oracle cards. As I continue to speak, I will shuffle for the rest of your oracle cards. So this card, Hiddenite, this crystal, came up in my last video that I did. What was the name of it? What was the name of that video? Messages that you need to hear right now. So, or messages from the universe, something along those lines. You might be interested in going to watch that video and watch that pile, because there will be messages there waiting for you. The same vibe that I got from that message was of the ocean, emotions, but more so this time around, I'm getting like emotions being iced in, like you are blocked off from your emotions. You feel sort of cold, not that you are cold, but like there are some emotions buried deep within the ice. Like you have, maybe even iced over your heart due to something that happened in the past and blocked yourself off from feeling certain emotions. There's something buried deep within that is trying to come out, that wants to come to the surface. And the healing that you need right now is to allow that ice to melt away so that those feelings can come up to the surface, so that you can heal them and move on from them, so that it is no longer keeping you from your abundance, keeping you from the life that you want to live, the joy that you want to feel. During this time, you may have some memories from the past, some past things coming up. You may feel like past memories are haunting you even, but know that they are not haunting you. Know that they are coming up so that you can heal them, so that you can feel them first off. Find the lessons within it, heal yourself, and move on once and for all. You might be someone who's drawn to the oceans. You may resonate with mermaids. I'm hearing siren. Sorry, group 4, the video cut off. Maybe you are someone who feels as though they get so close to people, and then you get scared and you end it. You've maybe hurt some people in the process by doing that, or you can only allow people to get so close to you. Let's see what your card has to say as I keep shuffling for your oracle messages. It says Hiddenite. Who needs it? French existentialists, future trippers, bad romantics. When to use it? When you find yourself stuck in the past or too focused on the future. Hiddenite is down to make the most of every moment. If you're in a rut, call on Hiddenite to help you love your way out of it. Claim your happy place. I feel as though for you that the feeling that needs to come in for you, group 4, yes, group 4 I believe, is that it's hard for you to be happy. You may always be in a state of fear, like the next shoe is going to drop, like someone is going to hurt you. Bad romantics, you might be a romantic in general, where you were just looking for that happily ever after. I feel as though something is definitely hidden below the surface for you, and whatever it is what has been blocking you from claiming your happy place. It's something that's placed you in this energy of always waiting for the shoe to drop, waiting. Group 4, I apologize. There keeps being so many disruptions. And I feel as though that is like a symbol for how you feel in life. Like you just keep getting interrupted. You might even be in, like that movie, Girl Interrupted. You may want to watch it if you've never seen it. But I feel like that's partly where you're at. It's life keeps being interrupted and keeping you from your happy place, keeping you from finding that solid ground, keeping you from finding that happily ever after that you are seeking. And it is because at some point in your life, I feel as though you were demonstrated, you were taught that's how life is. Even though you know it's not. Like on some level, it's like you've been hardened in some way. Maybe you had parental figures who fought all the time. Maybe you didn't feel loved as a child. You didn't feel like you received that connection that you needed, that support that you needed when you were in impressionable years. It doesn't matter if you were 3 or 33. It can happen at any age. You know, it's when people that we depend on, we love, we really care about, they hurt us in some way, and it can put us into this energy of being shut off. Typically it happens in childhood. It blocks us from our own emotions, from our own feelings. Maybe you were told to stop crying. Maybe you were told that you were too emotional. Maybe you were made to feel as though your emotions were a burden, were a problem. So you learned to block them off. You learned to not feel or to hide your feelings, so to speak. The situation could have occurred differently for everyone, so apply it to your life as it fits. You may feel like every time you start getting close to something, you start making a breakthrough, finding that happy place, something comes in to wipe it out. Whether that's you, whether that's life circumstances, whether that is self-sabotaging or other people around you just not showing up the way that you need them to. You could have some feelings of like some controlling behavior, of trying to control everything in your life, micromanaging things, because at some point in your life seems so chaotic, so up in the air. That now you try to control everything because you want to know what's coming next. You might be someone who feels like they always need to know what comes next. Where most people might think, 1 or 2 steps ahead, it's like you're thinking 10 steps ahead because you don't want any more surprises. And that's what's trying to be healed within you right now. Let's see what your oracle cards have to say. We have bittersweet in reverse with the throat chakra. I believe that also came out in group 1, so you might be interested in watching that. We have breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. It's exactly what I was just talking about. Next, we have fearless love, 25. And then we have peacekeeper, let go of the need to be right. That feeling that need to be right all the time could even be something that holds you back in life, because it makes you maybe hesitant to go after things that you deem risky. The need to be right could block you within relationships because it's hard for you to look at things from all different perspectives, all different angles. It's hard for you to give grace to people because you have those walls up trying to protect yourself. Once again, like I said, that micromanaging, that trying to control every aspect of your life, that comes into play with that need to be right. And it's time to release that. It's time to heal that part of yourself and live in a more carefree type of energy, going with the flow of life, allowing things to play out as they play out, not needing to control the situation out of fear, not needing to live in this anxious state of always needing to know what's going to happen next. You could have been in a situation where you've been without food, you've been without a home even. You've been without people around you to help be there for you, protect you. I feel like it's time to admit to yourself where you have allowed people, places, situations in your life to block off your heart. And it's time to open yourself up to that fearless love of self. 5:55 on the clock as I say that. That tells me that so much change is coming in for you. You may be one of those people who always seems stoic and calm, but on the inside you're freaking the fuck out, right? I don't know how else to put that, but like on the inside you're always thinking, the wheels are always turning, you're always on high alert. It's time to let love back into the situation. Love of self, seeing the love within yourself and people around you. What this 25 reducing to a 7 tells me is that the change that's coming in for you is spiritual healing, the emotional maturity. Not saying that you're not mature, but just that emotional intelligence coming more into play, where you are able to look at things more objectively, look at things from all points of view. You may even have some narcissistic traits yourself. We all do, so don't take offense to that. But you may have them more so out of necessity. Maybe you took on the traits of someone who raised you at some point, because that's all you were taught. Maybe you had to learn to be that way in order to survive. because you were not getting your needs met as a child, or early on in life where you were very impressionable. It happens, and I'm sorry that it happened to you. All right, the Fearless Love card says, you are loved and you are worth loving. Your divine assignment is to remain open to fearless love. You deserve to be loved in your language. You are worthy of a love that remembers your beauty at your ugliest moments. Don't allow your unhealed past to block your future. Real love is a sacred contract that says, I am vulnerable and committed. Your heart is safe with me. Let's expand our consciousness together. Goddess declaration, I give love, I receive love, I am love. Like I was saying, I felt like your heart was iced over. You were blocked. Some emotions were blocked. And at some point, I feel as though you were made to feel as though you were not lovable. The things that you did, the reactions that you had, the way that you were, something about you was not lovable. Someone maybe said these things to you, or they just made you feel that way in general. It's not true, Group 4. Don't believe it. Those were the actions, the words of someone who did not love themselves. And instead of doing their own work to find their happy place, they projected it onto you. But this reading is a wake-up call. No longer do you have to accept that. No longer do you have to feel that way. No longer do you have to take on that person's burdens. You are lovable. You are worthy of love. You can begin to love yourself and to allow other people to fully love you. To not put up those guards as soon as people start getting close to you. To not hide yourself away for fear that people will reject you once they see the real you. The people who are meant to stay, they will stay. So you be yourself. You be your authentic self. Speaking your mind when you need to speak. Allowing yourself to do you. It's time to let go of that past. And get some tarot cards out for your final messages. I apologize if you hear people upstairs. Some of my family just got home. You may have a family of your own and still not feel as though you are in your happy place. And that's because there's some blockage around you still. That ice in you that just needs to be melted away. Knowing that it's okay to feel happy. It's okay to enjoy and love and be loved. The way that you start healing is by not micromanaging, not always having to have a game plan for everything. Yes, it is good to have a plan, to have a trajectory, but you don't have to try to control everything. That includes the people around you. You cannot control other people, the way they think, their reactions, what they're going to do. All you can do is control yourself. Control your feelings, control how you show up for yourself and for others. We have that Four of Pentacles. This is the person who had to hold on tightly to the few things that they had because they felt like so much was lacking. And so much could have been lacking, especially in childhood. This is, next you have the Nine of Swords. That's that energy of being kept up at night, always worried, anxious, overthinking, concerned too much about what happened in the past and what's coming up in the future. It's time to release that. You got so much that you're holding on to in your emotional body, your mental body. And the healing that's trying to come in is for you to clear out those old narratives, clear out that pain, clear out those memories so that you have space to make new ones, to bring happier moments and memories in. You're being called to give it to God, right? To set off on this new, long, slow process of healing yourself, of showing up differently for yourself, finding happiness in the moments, accepting, Four of Cups, what the universe is trying to bring in for you, allowing yourself to be happy, allowing yourself to feel loved, to be loved. There are happy things in your life. There are things to be grateful for in your life, and the universe is trying to hand it over to you. What it comes down to, group 4, is to love and allow yourself to be loved. There are good things in your life. There are good things that are trying to come into your life. Allow that passion in. Allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself to find that sunshine, the things that make you happy, and focus on that. Not worrying about what happened in the past, not being afraid of the past even repeating itself. Because the more you focus on that, the more you focus on the past repeating itself, those are the things that you're going to manifest and bring into yourself. So the healing that you really, really need in this moment is to look forward to the future, to be hopeful for the future, to plan ahead, not plan backwards. Focus on the things that you want to feel, that you want to bring into yourself. If this video resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope to see you again very soon. Goodbye.